So I start off with some jumping to try to put some tension through the legs so I can get some more springy power, some explosive power. It's the kind of adaptations I'm looking for. Trying to get some nice tone to them would be nice too, but that's a little bit more difficult. So I get into using a, what's it called? A sandbag here. Very good for training very safely, very good for training the rotation, transverse rotational plane, which is sometimes forgotten about. So make sure you train your twisting motions, your twisting ability, the same amount you would train your frontal and lateral planes of movement. A benefit of using the rotational plane is it almost always it uses the entire body just to twist and to roll. If you're standing and you're holding something, the tension does drive throughout the whole body when you do it. So doing some single leg work, which is important for symmetry, balance, and building some inner stability, working on the single leg. If you can stand pretty well on two legs, maybe you should consider, standing on one leg if you can. I feel it's a pretty safe exercise for almost any age to stand on one leg. And a lot of these movements you can mimic without even holding any amount of weight. You can do a lot of the movements I'm doing here with the sandbag, without a sandbag, which scales down any level. So try it out. Try to do some of these movements I'm doing without a sandbag, with the sandbag, and just feel what it's like to move through that transverse, that rotational plane of movement. Maybe do it outside. Maybe do it in some different footwear that allows you to get in better connection with the ground. Maybe do it barefoot outside in the grass would be a good change of pace if you don't do it often. Here, I get into some weightlifting, trying to get the lower legs toned is the main goal of this one here. So when you're doing calf raises, try just to do it on the stretch position. So at the bottom, try just holding it at the bottom and just not really getting a full contraction at the top of the movement, but just focusing on the bottom. A lot of it's pretty trendy now to try that out. So give it a try. I found it when I don't even get high at all. I got super sore, super fast. Normally I'd go a little higher, but this time I try to stay as low as possible, and that really seemed to bring in the pain a lot faster than normal. So if you made it this far in the video, leave a like, leave a comment. Give me some tips on how to grow my lower legs here. I can sure use some help. A couple quotes I guess I could talk about. One of my favorite ones I heard was, be so focused on improving yourself that you have no time to criticize another. Is there really any time that criticizing someone else is productive in any way? Probably if they're receptive and wanting to grow from it, but I hardly ever find that the case. So, unfortunately, it seems best to be focused on yourself. Not really try to criticize others, not try to, in some ways, not even try to help others, because most people aren't receptive to help or advice, as I think it's often seen as an attack on their person, an attack on their ego, attack on themselves to try to change them. You'd have to deliver medicine with a spoonful of sugar. Very very charismatically is what it would take. And advice, what's the opposite of advice? The opposite of advice is blame. Epictetus said that a foolish man blames others for his own downfall, while a more wise man would blame himself. But a truly wise person blames nobody. And you think, well, what's the point of all that? Some situations have blame, some things require blame, but it's that if you blame others, or blame anybody, you're already in a self-centered frame of mind, and it puts you in the past. And time spent in the past is time not spent in the present, and time not spent in the present is time not lived. So thanks for watching, and farewell.